everybody. It's Allie, and welcome to our Y&R Chat for Sunday, October 15th, 2023. Victor Newman, you sly fox. All this time just pretending to be 80 years old. He is just as fit as he was in his 30s. He may be a vampire. That's where Adam gets it. I'm telling you right now, if getting someone's name wrong that you've known for years is the marker of losing it with old age, then I have lost it a long time ago. Seriously. It's like a thing with the women specifically in my family. My great-grandmother, my grandmother, my mom, they all run through like 4 names before they get to your name when they're addressing you. And yes, even with their own children. I try really hard not to do it, but sometimes I mix up Nate and Nick. You may have noticed, like, I'll want to say Nate, but I say Nick. And let me tell you, that is a problem in my relationship with Nate. He has noticed before. I try to play it off, but in my defense, though, Nick and Nate are both 4-letter words, right? And they both start with the letter N. So that's my defense. And also, Nick and Nate just look so similar. So yeah. Victor calling Adam Nicholas really seems like no big deal at all. Unless you're Adam. Because Adam was like, huh? The old man has called me a lot of names in my life, some of them derogatory, but he has never called me Nicholas. And as it turns out, Victor did it on purpose. He's just throwing bait in the water to see if any sharks start to circle. Honestly, though, his conversation with Nikki on Friday about the whole thing seemed way more troubling to me than anything else. Even his, alleged memory loss. What he was saying was that his instincts are telling him that everyone is out to get his empire, and someone is going to betray him from the inside. It all sounded to me like, hello, paranoia. They're your kids, and they're gonna inherit it all someday anyway, so... The fact that he was digging in his heels and like clenching onto his throne by his fingernails, it all seemed rather paranoid. Might be time to start realizing that you're gonna have to let go eventually, Victor. And Nikki, his partner, his lover, her solution to the whole thing is to just kick everyone out of the company, kick everyone out of his life, except for Nick and Victoria. Just Victor, Nikki, Nick, and Victoria together forever if Nikki had her way. All outsiders banished. Victor said he's beginning to trust Nate and that he thinks that Nate is actually loyal. And Nikki even said, well, then you should get rid of him. And Adam, too. Nick is so involved in his own drama, that he's mostly been uninvolved in the family drama. But at the end of Friday's show, Victor was meeting Nick in the heavy bag room, offering to talk to him about what he's upset about. And then in the previews for next week, Nick is saying, whoa, guys, Victor is fading fast, faster than I ever imagined. Okay. Well, first of all, that heavy bag room gives me anxiety. Every time Victor goes in there, I'm legitimately afraid that he is going to drop dead. And I had the same reaction when I saw Nick in there. And now Victor's going to be faking some dementia or something. I don't know. I feel like my heart is going to be getting punched like a heavy bag just watching that. I don't know if I can handle it. Victoria had a conversation with Nick and Nate about the whole thing this week. Let's hope that I don't confuse those two from here on out. Anytime Nick and Nate are in the same sentence, let's hope I don't confuse the two. But it was way more interesting that Victoria had that conversation with Adam. It was brief. It was a brief conversation, and it was chilly, like the wind in the park. And I believe that Adam was genuinely concerned about how weird it was that Victor would call him Nicholas. And I believe that he wanted to confirm with Victoria about that. And I believe that Nick will, that his concern that we're going to see next week is going to be genuine. I'm sure that Nick is going to be fooled by whatever Victor's going to say. And we see that in the previews. But what I have a harder time with is Victoria's reaction. On Friday, she snuck into Victor's office and she picked up a picture of her and her dad. And then she lifted it and smashed it onto the ground. Then she ran away. She turned out the light and she ended the episode. That was a cool moment. But why? Why did she smash the picture? Is it just that she's feeling heartbroken that she might be losing her dad? Is she genuinely concerned? This is the man she's admired for her whole life, the man who she's looked up to for her whole life. Is that why she threw the picture? Or did she throw the picture because she was throwing a tantrum like a little child? Because Victor took away her power and her position? Or, I don't know, is it everything? Is it all of the above? I don't think that I have ever anticipated a breakup for as long as I have anticipated Nick and Sally's breakup. Is it a breakup? You tell me, because what Nick said to Sally this week was, until you see the truth about your feelings for Adam, I can't be with you. Well, I mean, once she sees the truth about her feelings for Adam, then you definitely can't be with her then either. So, is it over? Please say it's over. Why did Sally have to run into Chloe on Friday? I love Chloe, but I do not love her opinions on Sally's love life. Chloe went to bat for Nick in a big bad way. And she basically told Sally that Sally would be crazy to choose Adam over Nick. And Chloe totally dismissed the fact that Sally was trying to talk about the fact that she still has feelings for Adam, rather than, she's just been squashing them down for ever. But she was actually starting to try to talked to Chloe about it, and Chloe shut it down and just changed it all. And the one thing I just don't like ever is anybody telling anybody else how they feel. I take people at their word, and maybe that's foolish of me, but if Sally says she has feelings for Adam, I believe her. And if Sally says she loves Nick, then I believe that too. I think she loves them both. And apparently this isn't the first time that she's been in this type of position, because something apparently happened in 7th grade. That's what I want to know. I want to know what happened with the 7th grade drama. Who did she choose? The answer to that question may be the same answer that she needs today. I think we need to go back to 7th grade, Sally, and let that be your guiding light. It seems like after the conversation with Chloe, Sally's trying to get a hold of Nick to tell him that she chooses him. For like the 1000th time, she's going to say that. I just hope Nick turns her down. I hope Nick turns her down because he's right. His gut instinct is probably right, and he has a right to follow that gut instinct. If his gut instinct is saying that something is not right for him, that there's something that's making him uncomfortable, then he should follow that. He should really have known better than to get involved with his brother's ex in the first place. These passions, they just lead you to places that you shouldn't be. Passions. I mean, I'm sure the sex was very, very good, but we all knew where this was going to end, and you really could have saved us a lot of time and anguish. Because at this point, Nick and Sally have been together for a year. They hooked up in September of 2022. I looked it up. They hooked up in September of 2022. That's over a year. And Adam and Sally, by the way, broke up in July of 2022. That's over a year ago. That's like a year and a half ago. This reunion back to Adam and Sally has been going on forever in soap opera time. And we need to end at Y&R. We have to get this reunion. We have to get it fast. I can't deal with this anymore. We need to just forget the past year with Nick and Sally. No hard feelings. Let's all try to move forward in a positive way and get a fresh start. Darn, I really wanted Claire to be Sally's sister. And I think there's still a possibility, but working against it, she was referring to her great aunt this week as still being alive. And she also said she has no siblings. But she was so cagey about her past that there's just got to be more to the story. And I need Detective Audra Charles to uncover this truth for me. Don't you guys think that the Newman media office looked good with all that feminine energy this week? I kind of love that the Newman media office got turned into girl space. Maybe we could have a sleepover in there. Fingernail painting and pigtails and pillow fights. No? Well, then, okay. Then I'll take Nikki behind the desk with Audra and Claire passively, aggressively battling it out for superiority. All right. This works for me. I really like Claire. I do. She's an instant hit for me. I like her facial expressions. I like her presence on screen. And Nikki has really taken her under her wing in a big way, introducing her to the whole town, taking her to a wedding, asking for her opinion on Audra's business deal. Oh, hell no. Hell no. Audra is not going to stand for that. Audra is going to Google this girl and find out what she's hiding. Audra, my girl Audra, is going to get the dirt on Claire, and she's going to report it back to us as soon as possible. I know it. Audra and Kyle are bringing the heat back for the autumn. It's getting cold outside, but it's still hot in here. Yeah, they were back at it this week. And by it, I mean sex. Yeah, they hit the sheets and hit them pretty good. And I don't have any problem with that. My only problem is I really hate the fact that she's having sex with Kyle just because the other guy she's having sex with, Tucker, asked her to. That's icky. It's icky, don't you think? It's her life. She can use her sexuality however she wants, but yuck. I don't know, yuck. And where does Tucker get off making that kind of request of her anyway? I actually like Audra with Tucker more than I like Audra with Kyle. But the fact that Tucker would have the idea to farm her out like that, it just ruins it for me. I don't know. Plus, how did Tucker's plan manage to work anyway? The sheer power, I guess, of having sex with Audra made Kyle magically want to return to Jabot to take Billy's job. I mean, he kind of wanted that before, but having sex with Audra really seemed to reinforce it for him. And even if Kyle succeeds, and even if Kyle accepts Audra's alliance deal next week that we saw in the previews, I still don't see how any of this helps Tucker. Okay, so Kyle's in at Jabot instead of Billy. How does that help Tucker? Does Tucker think that Billy will become dejected and then Tucker can use Billy, pick him up as an ally against the Abbotts, putting Billy against his own family? And if that's the case, then when will Chelsea be back to stop that from happening? Did you guys notice that Billy was drinking a lot at the wedding? Of course you did. We were looking at the glasses. Nikki had her huge water glass. That's the sign of a former lush. If you have a water glass at an event, you are a former lush. But then, so what was Diane's excuse? Why did she have a different drink? She had a clear drink. Sparkling water, I assume. But yeah, I don't know. Was Diane ever a former alcoholic? I don't remember that. I kind of do remember the Mara West version, the one that died, being real nasty and maybe drinking a lot, but I don't know. Mara West is so different from Susan Walters. But anyway, back to Billy. He was drinking. Gosh, drinking was the theme of the week, because now that I think about it, Nick was throwing back shots at the bar hardcore this week and then ordering an iced tea to pretend that he wasn't. That was slick. But anyway, yeah, Jack and Diane make a gorgeous couple, and they were so happy to have their son officiate their wedding, and I loved the wedding, and I think everything looked beautiful. Everyone looked beautiful. I loved that hedge wall in the background that had the beautiful big red flowers on it that matched all of the red dresses. Everyone was in red. Summer, Tracy, and Claire and Nikki. Oh my gosh, how about that fake out toast that Nikki made? What a drama queen. She is the end-all be-all drama queen. She knew that everything she was saying had a double meaning, and she really made you think that she was going to dump on Diane on Diane's wedding day. And then she spun the speech around into a compliment. Well done, Nikki. That was a fun moment of suspense. Everything about the wedding was fun and fresh and just relaxed. And I loved Diane and Jack just having some time afterward on that back patio, looking beautiful, just reflecting and being in love, while Billy and Tracy were inside wondering what was inside the gift box that Tucker brought. Oh my gosh, is it a casserole dish or is it a bomb? No, neither. As it turns out, it was a plant. Literally and figuratively, a plant. Well, no, a tree, a bonsai tree with a listening device wrapped around its little branches. Something is very fishy here. Do you guys remember when Ashley did something similar? She had a basket. Ashley had a basket of my beauty products delivered to the Abbott living room with a microphone installed in it. So, knowing that, it kind of makes me wonder if Ashley might be behind this. And it kind of makes me wonder if Ashley is still working with Tucker. And that's going to be a big twist revelation at some point when Eileen Davidson comes back. I don't know. I guess for now I'm taking it at the surface until I have evidence that Ashley's behind it. Yeah, Phyllis wanted to make up for the fact that she helped Tucker by trying to hurt Tucker. She decided to hack his bank accounts, I guess. He should have seen that coming. If she can hack Billy's accounts, then she can hack yours. So she hacked Tucker's accounts, found out that he purchased a listening device, and then gave Jack a heads up about the whole thing. And Jack rushed in like it was a crime scene and he was CSI. He made a beeline for the bonsai tree, found the mic, and then shuffled it out onto the porch like it was a bomber or something. But pretty smartly here, Jack realized that, well, he can get mad and confront Tucker about it, but why bother? I mean, Jack and Tucker had a really great confrontation at the coffee house just before Phyllis told Jack about the listening device. And Jack told Tucker that he knew that Tucker was behind the Billy embezzlement setup, and Tucker just denied it. So why bother confronting him about this? Instead, Jack decided that he can use this information to his advantage and he can reverse plant that information through the plant. Okay, well, in my opinion, to say that Danny is a breath of fresh air is an understatement. He talks to everyone, and specifically Phyllis, in a way that no one else does. He just has this effortless, almost, I consider him a joyful person. He has an effortless joy about him. And in honesty, where he just talks in a way that nobody else does. And I think that Phyllis specifically listens to him in a way that she doesn't with everyone else. Everyone else has said it all 100,000 million times to Phyllis, and Phyllis doesn't even listen anymore. But Danny is the original forgiver in her on-screen life. If she could earn Danny's forgiveness for all of the crazy stuff that she did to him, then she can certainly earn anyone's forgiveness. And if Phyllis can come back from being the person that she was 25 years ago into like the, everything that she is now, then certainly she can come back from being the person that she was earlier this year. Danny represents hope for Phyllis. Danny is the future hope for Phyllis. I hope she doesn't blow it. I hope she does not go crazy again, especially with the idea that she's interested in Danny and Danny's interested in Christine. I hope that dynamic destroyed her. It made her crazy. That particular mix of swirl of soup just makes her crazy. And she's definitely looking at Danny in a romantic way. I mean, her reaction to Danny saying that he's single again and then, picking up on the fact that he still has feelings for the bug. I mean, that tells me that we're headed into a direction of the Phyllis Danny triangle, and I can't wait to see if Phyllis has a different approach this time. Maybe she's learned something. Maybe Phyllis will turn into, suddenly she'll change it all up, and Danny will start to want her, and she will actually become a contender, because the Danny, Christine, Phyllis triangle in the past was so one-sided. I mean, Phyllis was just a thorn in their side. She was never a contender in a real way for his affections. But what if she is now? I just think this is so interesting. And I also think that Phyllis and Danny are going to continue to bond over Daniel and his growing love quandary. Which beautiful, amazing, alluring woman will I choose? Heather is moving back to Genoa City with his daughter. That's where Heather has the edge. She has Daniel's daughter. And so they're going to be seeing a lot of each other, and they're going to be bonding over that. And it's clear that Heather and Daniel do still care a lot for each other. The reason they broke up in the first place wasn't because the love faded. It was because of Daniel's behavior. That happened all off screen, by the way. But now, apparently, that behavior has changed. And so, I don't know, maybe Daniel and Heather's relationship can change. I mean, they kind of set up a date, didn't they? Out for drinks tomorrow night sounds like a date if it's alone. Couldn't help but notice how the next day when he caught up with Lily, he kind of failed to mention that. I've got the perfect outfit. Who else could say that but Abby? Of course she has the perfect outfit. She has the perfect closet of outfits. Abby, I think, is the best dressed character overall on the show. She's my number one fashion blue ribbon. I love it. She was talking to Devon last week as she was getting ready for Mamie's dinner. He invited her and she said, "Oh, I've got the perfect outfit." And then she showed up in, I'm trying to think, I think it was like a purple shiny jacket maybe, or maybe I'm confusing that with her wedding outfit. But anyway, everybody gets that was Abby's. So congratulations, Nina D, Nancy, Wonderful Wendy, Francie, Henry, Sharon W, T. Nicole, Tanya, Daisy, Dolores, Naomi, Brittany, good old Marky, Kamna, and Sharita. Good job, you guys. Let me give you a new one. I feel like you're going to get this, but it has to be this. Peace, love, and forgiveness, my ass. Peace, love, and forgiveness, my ass. Who said it? Go to yrchat.com and there you can enter in your guess. And if you get it right, I will give you a shout out next week. Two birthday shout outs, starting with Glenda, whose birthday is today. I love it when Y&R Chatter birthdays actually coincide with a Sunday. Happy birthday, Glenda. And T. Nicole, happy birthday on Thursday. That's your big day. I hope it's a very special whole week for you, T. Nicole. Let's get to some comments, starting out with Diana, who says, I was happy when Danny looked upset when he found out that Christine was in Portugal with Paul. This means that he still has feelings for her. Yeah. He is back in Genoa City, and he wants to try to win Christine back. Danny also admitted to Phyllis that he has a special place in his heart for cricket, and Phyllis was so jealous. It's definitely looking like there's going to be a love triangle between the three of them. Phyllis's face lights up when she sees Danny walk into a room. Danny should not reveal too much about how he feels about Christine to Phyllis. He should know better that Phyllis would try to sabotage his relationship with her. I look forward to when Christine gets back in town and seeing her relationship gradually grow with Danny. It'll be just like old times. Yes, wait a minute. Big deal. Why is Danny confiding in Phyllis at all about Christine? Well, he didn't, though. I think it was just that he didn't deny it. Phyllis definitely inferred it. But Danny should still know to play anything with Christine way closer to the vest than that. Given the history, Phyllis should not just get a pass from him. But now not everybody loves Danny. You are not going to believe this, chatters, but not everybody loves Danny. Henry says, yes, I get it. 50 years of Y&R is an awesome achievement. I can see or tolerate, if you will, bringing some of the early characters back. However, I see no need to have Danny Romalotti back. Maybe I'm premature with this way of thinking, but he, in my opinion, adds absolutely nothing to the show. Maybe if he were to reunite with Cricket, I could accept that because I'd love to see Phyllis's head explode. Other than that, as a possible scenario, I don't see what else the writers, have brought him back for. Well, Henry, I think it's clear that they're bringing him back for this because I believe Laura Lee Bell is coming back. So I think there is a plan for Danny. I think he's staying on at least for a pretty good long run. And I kind of think I saw some pictures or something with Laura Lee Bell. She must be having an anniversary with the show or something. I feel like Laura Lee Bell is coming back and they're doing the triangle that you're talking about. So maybe you will find out that you like Danny because I think there is a purpose for him. Ellen says they need to give him something interesting to do. A real story. Just wandering around playing the piano and being a throwback character isn't going to be interesting. Same with Tracy. Enough with the napkin emergencies. Give that excellent actress a storyline now. Oh, sorry, I raised my voice. I got carried away, as I sometimes do. Well, I think probably the actors and actresses really want a story if they're going to come back. I'm sure, I don't know, I think probably Michael Damian would not have been satisfied to come back and fold napkins. Because he has probably turned down their requests to come back many times. I feel like they had to do a little work to get him and promise him something good. And the something good certainly must be Laura Lee Bell. They would both have to be in it and willing to make it good. And about Beth Maitland, I mean, I wonder what she wants, just out of curiosity as an actress. Maybe she likes just being on, kind of coming in and buzzing into a scene and doing something fun and then going. Maybe she's not looking for anything more. I bet the different actors have different, what their career goals are, and maybe Y&R is just trying to work with that. I gotta say this again because I think this is great. Sharad says, I still wish that Y&R would revisit the idea of making Tessa the long-lost daughter of Danny or Tracy. I feel that would be a good storyline. I totally agree with this. The Tessa-Danny connection is perfect. If there's any way Y&R could pick that up, that would be so good. If anyone at Y&R listens, man, that is a really good tie-in. Gary says, Danny has always been on the sidelines of life. I've always mocked him unfairly. I don't want to potshot him, but Henry's comments are noted. Already, Phyllis can't believe Danny still likes the bug. For Phyllis to still want Danny is a last resort. Danny, then and now, he may be wise, but he is boyish. Oh yeah, boyish. While Phyllis is all woman. They just never seemed a viable couple. They just don't look right together, never mind their individual psyches. Gosh, describing Danny as boyish is so right on. He has a boyish quality and he's just never lost it. And you're right, Phyllis is a viper. But it's never been Danny wanting Phyllis. It's always been Phyllis wanting Danny. I'm here to defend Danny, Gary. I think Danny's boyishness totally works with Cricket because she's got like a girlishness about her forever. It's Danny and Cricket forever. Phyllis is never going to win in this triangle. Never. But that's not Danny's fault. I'm making that a poll question this week. Go to yrchat.com and let me know if you like Danny Romalotti being back on the show. Vote for or against Danny now at yrchat.com. Oh, new topic. Diana says, I thought it was funny when Nikki walked into the office and Claire really startled her. I've never seen that happen on the show. Nikki really seemed startled by her. It was very true to life. I enjoyed that scene as I found it comedic. I loved when Nikki asked her if she had more of this to look forward to. Sharon W. says, I don't know if it was the camera angle or if I wasn't watching closely enough, but I actually jumped when Claire walked into the room to talk to Nikki. Maybe Y&R is trying to make Claire seem creepy. That could definitely be it. Yeah, Robin says, Claire gives me a creepy feeling. I think she's a bad apple. My guess is that she's a long-lost child of the Newmans. Well, that could be interesting. Yeah, just somebody that Nikki doesn't know. Kamna says she keeps referring to the great aunt. Is it possible that the great aunt is Nikki's sister or Nikki's aunt? I don't know enough of Nikki's backstory. But, that's a good idea, Kamna, that she's somehow connected to Nikki. That's interesting. Dolores says Claire Grace has a pot of tea awaiting Nikki when she arrived back at Newman Media. This highly impressed her as Claire Grace always appears to anticipate Nikki's needs, personal or professional. Immediately, I thought of Victor's conversation with Nikki. Someone's out to stab him in the back and get out to get his empire. Well, is Claire Grace's arrival in Genoa City and her employment with Newman Media getting close to and becoming indispensable to Nikki, the hidden someone that's working to take down Victor and who she's working with or for to accomplish this? Dang, Dolores, that's really good idea and a good comment that Claire is the presence that perhaps Victor is picking up on that wants to take over his empire. Yeah, that's a really good idea. I guess I didn't immediately connect Claire to the Newmans, so you guys are really shifting my perspective on this. For some reason, I just immediately connected her to Sally, and I never adjusted my brain. But now I'm going to think about this in a different way. Well, T. Nicole, birthday girl, says, such a small moment, but when Victoria said to Adam that she won't be a referee between Adam and Nick, she said that as she's wearing a black and white dress, the colors of a referee uniform. Oh, that's funny. I love that black and white dress. I was dying. I love that. Half black, half white. I didn't love the jacket, but I understand. She had a black, leathery short jacket on over it. And I didn't love that, but I understand it because it's supposed to be, October in Genoa City. So just throw a shorty leather jacket on over it. Then it's seasonal. Oh, the sleeveless dress is so gorgeous, but it's supposed to be high of 50 degrees in Wisconsin right now. Well, throw a shorty leather jacket on it. Okay. Problem solved from the wardrobe department. Tales from the wardrobe department. All right, another new topic. Sharon W. says, Adam stopped by Society and told Nate that he dropped off shirts to the dry cleaners, got suit alterations from Fenmore's, got the presentation binders needed for the team meeting, and also mentioned the research that Nate asked for by the end of the day is on his desk. Nate said, wow, you got quite a bit accomplished in one morning. I'm impressed. Are Adam's charms now working on Nate? Who will be the next to fall under his charm? Nikki? Could Mark Grossman be any more appealing at the way he plays the character of Adam? His acting style truly reminds me of Eric Braeden. Both superb. Oh, wow. Are Adam's charms working on Nate? Maybe, I don't know. Nate played it off like, no, I'm just keeping my enemies close. But I don't know. You never know. I love the idea of Adam's charms working on Nikki. He is Victor Jr. after all. Maybe that's it. Maybe Nikki is secretly attracted to Adam all these years. And that's why she's so horrible to him. How about that for something in your brain that you can't unhear now? You won't be able to unsee it now. Every time you see Nikki and Adam together from here forth, you're going to be knowing that deep down in Nikki's psyche, she's actually attracted to her stepson. Take that. Gumna says, best line/scene of the week was when Adam said to Chloe, why don't you try shooting me again? Maybe with better aim. Yeah, that definitely was the line of the week. That was a great moment. And what did she say? She just said, I don't have the time, and kind of flipped her hair, turned on her heels, and left. Yeah, that was good. Diana says, it'd be a great twist if Kyle is somehow using Audra, not the other way around, as Audra thinks. I would love to see Kyle become a playboy with some swagger and not this pushover puppy dog that he is with Audra. He mentioned that he wanted to bring a date to Jack and Diane's wedding ceremony. Maybe this was a clue that he's not all in with Audra, as she seems to appear. Yeah, it would be an even bigger and better twist if the person he'd been seeing was secretly Tara, the mother of his son. We would then find out that they have recently been discreetly seeing one another, and Tara could become a good rival for Audra and to bring out the exciting bad boy in Kyle. Diana, this is so good because you just connected a piece that was missing for me. So if Kyle mentioned wanting to invite a date to the wedding, and then Audra ended up showing up, and she didn't get kicked out for not having an invitation, but she also didn't spend any time with Kyle if Kyle was the one that invited her. So, but those two things can't be true, because afterwards when Kyle and Audra ran into each other at the coffee house, she was like, oh, we didn't get to talk very much at the wedding. Well, wouldn't she have been his guest? If Audra wasn't Kyle's guest, then who invited her? So that's really good, because maybe that means that Kyle is dating someone else, and that's who he was thinking of inviting. Maybe there is somebody else, and maybe that somebody else could be Tara. That's good. I like that. I like that a lot. That fills in a gap for me. I was wondering. Also, the wedding seemed like it got cut kind of short, don't you think? Because the whole thing, it was like Tucker was in the living room with the box, and Audra was showing up at the party, and then the very next episode was Tucker was already gone and the party was already over. So we didn't get to see how Audra interacted at the party. And we didn't get to see the Abbotts throw Tucker out of the living room either. Here's a fun thing from Victoria, who says, Audra's updo made quite a statement. Could it be predicting the future? There was a little girl by Henry Wordsworth Longfellow. There was a little girl who had a little curl right in the middle of her forehead. When she was good, she was very good indeed, but when she was bad, she was horrid. A poem. A poem by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. Oh, Victoria, you saw that little curl in the middle. The little perfect curl right in the middle of her forehead. And you connected it to a classic poem. I love you. so good. Yeah, the little curl right in the middle of her forehead. It was that hairstyle was very telling. I think you're absolutely right. Let's head on over to Devon's world. Dolores says, I have so had it with Devon and his haughty attitude toward his father and any other person he feels that he is superior to them in his judgmental way. He treats those that have his contempt as they must constantly grovel for his forgiveness and acceptance on his level. Please spare me. The times that he has done supposedly unforgivable things in the past, they've been quickly erased, and then he moves on with his conceited attitude. Cheating with Hillary, Elena, Abby. Now he's living innocently in the Chancellor Mansion. Yes, Tucker may be plotting and planning something devious now. However, he should not always be needing to beg for his son's acceptance and love and respect. When he tried to get Devon to work with him, Devon was leery, testy, finally said no, and no matter what was said or done, he continues to test and doubt. Dang, Dolores. You got it. You really dragged Devon. Drag him, girl, drag him. Because Diana says, remember, no one has committed a worse crime than Devon. He had an affair with his father's wife when his dad was blind. And after all that, Neil forgave him. Oh my gosh, Diana. No kidding. Take that, Devon. Not Hamilton. Winters. Take that, Devon Winters. Somebody referred to Devon as Devon Winters this week, and I took a moment to go, that ain't right. Then I remembered. Oh yeah, he changed his name. I like Ellen's take here. Catherine's money has given Devon an unearned sense of superiority. Ooh, yeah, sense of superiority. I get that. I do totally get that. And Dolores makes a lot of very true observations about kind of that, his attitude about it all. Yeah, Devon has a little attitude toward everybody that he deems is, I don't know, not as good as him. And no one's as good as him, clearly. Oh. Daisy says, I don't know why Mamie believes that what Nate did is something that Devon can never forget. That makes me wonder if she doesn't know the full extent, but was happy to help Olivia when she asked Mamie to try to bring the family together. And Olivia's motive, beside the family getting back together, is giving Nate her shares of the company as compensation for his loss after Devon hit him. And Olivia believes if the family is no longer adversarial, her son will be welcomed and supported. Little does she know who he has become, though, or what he is capable of to get what he wants. I still love the idea that Olivia could be behind this and that Olivia could be coming on to the show. Well, let me shift on over here. Naomi says the Abbotts get what they get. Why would they not inspect Tucker's wedding gift for microphones? Didn't Jack have a younger girlfriend use an eavesdropping device to spy on him? Surely they would remember that and be skeptical of enemies bearing gifts. Oh yeah, see, I remembered Ashley doing that with the gift basket, but did Jack have a girlfriend that bugged him at one point? Gary says Trevor St. John is great, but his storyline is a clinker. Revenge, revenge. Why does he want to take over Jabot anyway? Move on and leave town to wherever you were before. That bomb wedding gift is so tired and old hat. Yeah. Tucker needs something more going for him. The revenge thing. Yeah, he needs a heart. He needs some heart. Tucker needs some heart. But T. Nicole says, I am loving the messy Abbott's versus Tucker storyline. It has so many moving parts. You have Audra and Kyle hooking up, and then it looks like Diane will also scheme with Kyle to get Billy out of Jabot, which can hurt her relationship with Jack when he finds out. And then if Billy gets schemed out of Jabot, he will become a wild card. So many moving parts. Yeah, I know. I like Diane scheming with Kyle a little bit. They're pretty good. Well, Victoria says, today's episode was deliciously funny. I have 7 letters for it. AWKWARD. Awkward. So many of the scenes had an awkward moment to them. From Nikki telling Diane that she better treat Jack well or else, to Tucker's surprise gift and many more. My number one moment is when Sharon noticed Summer and Chance having a lively conversation, and Sharon sauntered over, and her first comment was, "Hi, Summer. This is so much fun." Hilarious. Yeah, the Sharon, Summer, Chance stuff at the wedding. Yeah, definitely awkward. I think you nailed it. Last week's poll question, how long do you think Jack and Diane will last? Majority vote goes middle ground for a while. They'll last for a while, 51%. 36% of you optimists voting forever. Jack and Diane will last forever. And that is indeed how I voted as well. And 13% saying not long. They are not going to last long. Shelley voted for a while because realistically, we know we won't go without drama for too long. But my hope is that they last forever. I may be in the minority, but I absolutely love Diane for Jack. And I can't remember Jack having a better fit. Nikki? We knew that would never last. Sharon? No. Phyllis had her moments, but I have never seen her look at Jack the way Diane does. There's just something about their chemistry that I adore. I adore them too, Shelley. Sharon W. voted that they'll stay together for a while, only because I remember how deeply Jack and Phyllis were in love at one time. She accompanied him to California when Diane was contacting Jack through Allie. He was very apprehensive to even acknowledge his mysterious text from Diane. Also, Phyllis helped him when he was hooked on alcohol or rain pills or both. Forget my memory, can't remember. Phyllis never left his side. Yeah, I mean, soap opera relationships definitely don't last very long. But again, one instance is Victor and Nikki. They definitely are getting to be long-term. Y&R stopped messing with them at a point. And I just wonder if that's not going to happen for Jack, too. Tony says Diane and Jack will last until he finds out that she's working with Tucker to discredit Billy so that Kyle can slip into his place at Jabot. I do think this. It's definitely possible Diane could flip. It's possible that all of a sudden she's going to go, voila, I'm in. But more importantly, Victoria says, I have a theory for those of us who love Susan Walters' hair. It looked colored in today's episode, and I have a feeling that she has her hair foiled, but then leaves out certain pieces, especially around her face. There are a few strands of gray around the top also, but I think her hairdresser lifts some of the strands so that they aren't included in the foils. And Connie says, you are spot on, Victoria. I asked my hairdresser about her gray hair framing her face, and he described exactly what you said. Many women are using this technique to transition away from coloring. This is amazing. Here we have it. Official confirmation from a hairdresser, a real life hairdresser, about Susan Walters, Young and the Restless star Susan Walters' hair coloring technique. That is what you come here for, you guys. That is the real behind the scenes scoop. Okay, everybody. That almost does it for Y&R Chat, but I do have one housekeeping note. I am going to have to be switching web host providers. Blah. But what I need you to know is that anything at the website at yrchat.com and anything with the podcast stream, I'm hoping for no downtime in the transition, but I can't guarantee it. I'm a one-woman show. I have limited knowledge. I have better knowledge than most, but I'm not a super tech. I'm not a Phyllis Summers super tech whiz. So I'm going to do my best to get everything switched over. I would not be doing it unless I had to, and I have to, and it has to happen fast. So I'm going to try to get everything up and flipped over and back operational, but I gotta tell you, old stuff, I will make sure the current stuff is available priority. But there's gonna be some old stuff that you might not have access to for a while, and there might be some old stuff that is just gonna be gone. So if there is anything podcast-wise or photo-wise that you wanna grab it now. I can't guarantee how much longer everything's going to be there. I hope I can have everything moved and sorted out within the next 2 weeks. But that might also impact, well, as is the reason today, that might also impact my ability to do video, the video component of Y&R Chat. I'm keeping it bare bones in the amount of editing and all that I have to do right now for this week because I have to focus on getting this data and moving this data. And that might be the case for the coming weeks as well. But I'll get it eventually. I'll get it all sorted out eventually. It's only, 13 years worth of stuff. Y&R Chat podcast started in 2010. So it's only, it's only 13 years worth of stuff that I got to move in 2 weeks. They're kicking me out, you guys. They're kicking me out. So got too much stuff. Got to take it somewhere else. Okay. That is my update for the week. I will definitely be back next Sunday, possibly only with a podcast, but still go to yrchat.com, still leave your comments. Everything with your comments and accounts I'm also prioritizing, so that stuff hopefully you will not see any change with. But if you do, cut me some slack. All right, everybody. I love you. I'll see you next time.